So we will talk about general equilibrium, जिसमें हम सबसे पहले start करेंगे Pareto efficiency से, ठीक है? So general equilibrium is a very important topic from entrance point of view. So first thing is that here we are talking about pure exchange economy. So what does pure exchange economy means? It means that we will talk only about exchange right now. There is no production. Okay. Consumers के पास जो भी goods की amount है वो पहले से है. There is no production right now. Okay. Only exchange will take place. Only exchange takes place. There is no production. ठीक है. Second thing is, let's talk about the symbols that we are going to use. So we will use N for set of individuals, yeah, set of consumers, set of individuals, or you can call them persons, or you can call them consumers, or you can call them agents. Okay. So N can be 1 or 2 or 3, or we can call it M. Okay. L will be using for commodities. So L is the set of commodities. So which means that number of commodities can be 1 or 2 or 3 and so on till small l. Okay. So this symbol is called omega, and we'll use it for endowment. Endowment basically means the consumer, the consumption bundle that each person starts with. So this is the amount of goods that each consumer already has. Okay. So this symbol is called omega. Okay. And it is basically consumption bundle that each person or individual starts with. Okay. So yeah, exchange economy, that's the first point. So we are calling consumers A and B. So there are two consumers. A and B. ठीक है. So दोनों consumers के endowments हैं. ठीक है. There is a set of bundle that they start with. So that's what we call their endowments. So both the consumers have their initial set of amounts, initial amounts of good 1 and good 2. And we are calling it omega. So omega A is the endowment bundle of consumer A, and omega B is the endowment bundle of consumer B. Okay. So that means individual A has some units of good X and some units of good Y, and similarly individual B has some units of good X and some units of good Y. So let's say, for example, consumer A has 6 units of good X or good 1 and 4 units of good 2. Okay. 6 units of good 1, 4 units of good 2. Similarly, individual B के पास है 2 units of good 1 and 2 units of good 2. So 2 comma 2. Okay. So this is what we call omega 1A. So this is the amount of good 1 that individual A has. Amount of good 1 that individual A has. And similarly, this is omega 2A. So it is the amount of good 2 that individual A has. Okay. Similarly, it is omega 1B. So it is the amount of good 1 that individual B has. And this is omega 2B. So this is the amount of good 2 that individual B has. So this is the endowment bundle of consumer A. And this is the endowment bundle of consumer B. And basically it is the amount of good X, amount of good 1 and good 2 that these individuals already have in the economy. So I'll share these slides with you in the description box or in the content section. Okay. So don't worry about noting it down, just focus on understanding. So now in this economy, we have 6 units of good 1 available with consumer A and 2 units of good 1 available with consumer B. So इस economy में total 8 units हैं good 1 की, 6 units हैं consumer A के पास, 2 units हैं consumer B के पास of good 1. ठीक है, so total there are 8 units of good 1 in this economy. Similarly, we have 4 units of good 2 with consumer A, 2 units of good 2 with consumer B. So total in this economy, there are 4 units plus 2 units equal to 6 units of good 2. Okay? Out of which 4 is with consumer A, 2 is with consumer B. Okay? So for consumer A, I can locate his consumption bundles in this commodity space, right? So this is the commodity space of consumer A. Okay. On the x-axis, we have x1A. On the y-axis, we have x2A. What does that mean? So x1A क्या होगा? X1A is the units of good 1 for consumer A. The amount that he can consume, that he can possibly consume. So units of good 1 for consumer A. X2A is units of good 2 with consumer A. Yeah, for consumer A. For consumer A. Yeah. Okay. So this is the commodity space for consumer A. Similarly, there will be a commodity space for consumer B. So this is the commodity space for consumer B. So now X1B is the amount of unit 1 or amount of good 1 for consumer B, and X2B is amount of good 2 with consumer B. Okay. So X1B is units of good 1 for consumer A, for consumer B, and X2B is units of good 2 for consumer B. Okay. Now what I can do is I can flip this commodity space. So initially commodity space for individual B is like this. ठीक है, यहाँ पर उसका good 1 है, and here is the good 2 for this consumer. Okay, what if I rotate it? Then in that case x2 नीचे आ जाएगा. ठीक है, ये नीचे आ गया, and x1 will become vertical. So now here is x1 and here is x2. I have rotated it 90 degrees one time. Okay, now what if I rotate it once again? Then in that case x1 will become horizontal, x2 will become vertical. Okay, so this is how it will look. So after flipping, this is how the commodity space of consumer B will look like. Are you able to imagine it? पहले एक बार rotate के 90 degrees, it became like this, and then I again rotated it 90 degrees and it became like this. So finally x1 is here and x2 is here. Okay, so x2 is on the vertical axis and it is increasing in the downward direction, and x1 for consumer B is increasing in the left direction after flipping the commodity space. Okay, so now what can I do is, ये है commodity space consumer 1 का, A का. This is the commodity space of consumer B. What I can do is I can pick the commodity space of individual B and keep it here, and it will look like a box. मैंने क्या किया है? I have picked this commodity space and placed it here. Okay, so x2b is here, x1b is here, origin यहां से आ गया है इधर. ठीक है, I have simply placed the commodity space over the commodity space of consumer A. Okay, so finally it will look like this, like a box. Okay, so now it looks like this and it is called Edgeworth box, and the reason is this concept was given by Francis Edgeworth. तो उनके नाम पर इस बॉक्स का नाम है Edgeworth box. Okay, so if you remember, we have total 8 units of good 1 in this economy and total 6 unit of good 2 in this economy. Remember, we had 8 units of good 1 and 6 units of good 2 in this economy. So notice that good 1 जो है वो horizontal पर है, horizontal axis पर है. ठीक है, good 1 for both the consumers is on the horizontal axis and good 2 for both the consumers is on the vertical axis. Okay, तो क्योंकि इस इकोनॉमी के अंदर टोटल 8 यूनिट्स हैं गुड 1 के, तो उसी डायमेंशन के बेसिस पर वी हैव द लेंथ ऑफ दिस बॉक्स. ओके, एंड height of this box is based on the total units of good 2, which is 6 in this economy. So this is 6 and this is 8. Okay, So currently this box is a rectangle because length and the height are different. Okay, so it can take any shape depending upon the total amount of good one and good two available in the economy. So if good one is more and good two is less than that, then it will look like this. If good two is more and good one is less, then it will look like this. And if both are equal, then we'll have a square. Okay, so it can take any shape depending upon the total units of good one and good two available in this economy. So now let's talk about कि आप इस बॉक्स में कोई भी एलोकेशन को कैसे देखोगे. Okay, so we have total 8 units of good X in this economy, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. Similarly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 units of good Y in total in this economy. Okay. So in this direction, we have X1A. In this direction, we have X2A. Okay. Similarly, origin of B है यहाँ पर. So downward direction में we have X2B, and in the left direction we have X1B. Okay, so अगर टोटल इस इकोनॉमी के अंदर 8 यूनिट्स हैं गुड वन के, ऑल राइट, अगर आप राइटवर्ड डायरेक्शन में जाओगे तो ए के लिए इंक्रीज होगा बट बी के लिए डिक्रीज होता जाएगा. Similarly, if you move towards left direction, तो A के लिए गुड वन डिक्रीज हो रहा है बट इट विल इंक्रीज फॉर इंडिविजुअल B. Okay, so let's try to put let's try to allocate where the endowment bundle is. So we know that endowment bundle is 6,4 individual A के लिए and 2,2 individual B के लिए. ठीक है, so good one 6 units हैं for individual A. So this point 4 units हैं good 2 की, this point. Okay, so this is 6,4 from individual one's point of view. Okay, so now if you notice 2 यूनिट बची हैं गुड वन की. ठीक है, तो दिस इज 1, दिस इज 2, क्योंकि ये लेफ्टवर्ड डायरेक्शन में इंक्रीज होगा फॉर इंडिविजुअल बी. से दिस इट इज इंक्रीजिंग इन लेफ्टवर्ड डायरेक्शन. सो these are the 2 units of good 2, these are the 2 units of good 1 with individual B. And similarly total 6 units थी good 2 की. Okay, 4 units गई individual A के पास, so we are left with 2 units for individual B. So this is 2,2 from individual B's point of view. Okay, so that's how you can locate any bundle in this box. Okay, तो अगर आप किसी एक इंडिविजुअल के लिए इसे प्लॉट कर दोगे, दूसरे इंडिविजुअल के लिए वो अपने आप प्लॉट हो जाएगा, बिकॉज दैट्स हाउ दिस बॉक्स इज कंस्ट्रक्टेड. इसके अंदर हमने कैसे कंस्ट्रक्ट किया इसे, हमने इसे बनाया था टोटल यूनिट्स ऑफ गुड 1 और टोटल यूनिट्स ऑफ गुड 2 के बेसिस पर. ओके, सो अगर आप किसी एक इंडिविजुअल के लिए इसे प्लॉट कर दोगे तो बची हुई यूनिट्स अपने आप इंडिविजुअल बी के लिए चली जाएंगी. ठीक है, सो नाउ वॉच दिस. 6 यूनिट्स हैं इंडिविजुअल ए के लिए, यहां पर आ गई. 4 यूनिट्स हैं इंडिविजुअल बी के लिए, इंडिविजुअल ए के लिए गुड 2 की. तो आपने वो प्लॉट कर दिया, सो वील गेट 6,4 हियर. ओके, रिमेनिंग अपने आप आ जाएंगी इंडिविजुअल बी की 2,2. ओके, आपने प्लॉट किया 6,4 फॉर इंडिविजुअल ए. रिमेनिंग यूनिट्स, यहां पर 2 यूनिट्स बच गई इंडिविजुअल बी के पास फॉर गुड 1 एंड 2 यूनिट्स बच गई गुड 2 की. ओके, फॉर कंज्यूमर बी. तो बची हुई यूनिट्स अपने आप प्लॉट हो जाएंगी एंड दे विल बी विद अदर इंडिविजुअल. So that's how Edgeworth box is constructed. ठीक है. So we took width as the total of good 1 available in the economy. We took height as total of good 2 available in the economy. आपने प्लॉट करा इंडिविजुअल ए के लिए और बी के लिए. You got this point. Okay, and this is what we call omega. Okay, omega is equal to omega 1a omega 2a. Let me make it smaller. Omega 1a, omega 2a, comma, omega 1b, omega 2b. So कोई भी जो यहाँ पर एलोकेशन है वो 4 पार्ट्स में. तो जब आप सिंगल इस कमोडिटी स्पेस की बात करते थे, यहाँ पर 2 पार्ट्स हैं, 2 टपल्स हैं यहाँ पर एक्स वाई. बट अब बॉक्स हो गया, 2 कमोडिटी स्पेसेस को आपने मिला दिया है. सो एक्स वाई इंडिविजुअल 1 का एंड सिमिलरली एक्स वाई इंडिविजुअल 2 का. तो टोटल यहाँ पर 4 टपल्स आ जाएंगे. गुड 1 गुड 2 इंडिविजुअल ए के लिए, गुड 1 गुड 2 इंडिविजुअल बी के लिए. तो कोई भी पॉइंट्स आप इस तरीके से रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हो. ठीक है, इसके अंदर 4 टपल्स होंगे, एक्स और वाई 1 के लिए, एक्स और वाई बी के लिए, ठीक है, या 2 के लिए. So we can name these consumers as 1 or 2, or we can call them A or B or whatever you want to. Okay. Similarly, XA के अंदर आ जाएंगी 2 चीजें कि इंडिविजुअल A के पास गुड 1 और गुड 2 कितना है. Similarly, XB क्या होगा? XB is इंडिविजुअल B के पास गुड 1 और गुड 2 कितना है. Okay. So that's how the symbols work. So you can call this thing omega A and you can call this thing omega B. So omega B का क्या बता रहा है कि इंडिविजुअल B की एंडाउमेंट्स क्या है ऑफ गुड 1 एंड गुड 2. एंड सिमिलरली ओमेगा A is telling you what are the endowments of consumer A of good 1 and good 2. So next point is feasible allocations. So we constructed this box on the basis of the total endowments of good 1 and good 2 available in this economy. So अगर आप उससे ज्यादा कंज्यूम करने की कोशिश करोगे, it is not feasible. If you do not have that amount available in the economy, you cannot consume it, right? So any point on or inside the box, any point on or inside the box is feasible. Any point outside the box is not feasible for this economy. Okay. So X1A, X2A, these are the units of good 1 and good 2 for consumer A. We call it allocations. Okay. So we allocate this bundle to this consumer. All right. all these points are called allocations. If it is for consumer A, we call it allocation of consumer A. If it is for consumer B, we call it allocation for consumer B. So these are allocated to them. These are distributed to them from the endowments available. So therefore, these are called allocations. All right. So, and similarly, X1B, X2B, these are the allocations for consumer B. So this is the amount that this consumer can consume. So obviously, total consumption cannot be more than the total endowment in this economy. So, good one consumed by individual A plus good one consumed by individual B. तो ये आ गया आपके पास total consumption of good one in the economy, okay, which is the sum of consumption by A and consumption by B of good one. Omega 1A, omega 1B, it is the total endowment of good one in this economy. So total consumption of good one cannot be more than the total endowment of good one. So therefore, total consumption has to be less than or equal to the total endowment of good one. Similarly, total consumption of good 2 has to be less than or equal to the total endowment of good 2. Okay, so any point inside or on this Edgeworth box is feasible. आप बाहर जाओगे, that means you are crossing the endowment, okay, which is not possible. So it simply means if there are 8 units of good one in this economy, this point may represent 10 units of good one, okay. So 9, 10, so you are moving outside the box. So this point is not feasible because total 8 units available hai. You are trying to consume 10 units, so this is not feasible. Similarly, you can comment about other points as well. So all points in the box, including the boundary, represent the feasible allocations of the combined endowments. Okay. So omega is the initial amount of good 1 and good 2 available to the consumer A and consumer B. And X, these are the different allocations that we can distribute to them. Okay. So these are the consumption bundles that they can have. Omega is the initial amount that they have. So if initially we are at this point, then all these allocations can be given to these consumers. So we can redistribute this endowment. Is endowment ko redistribute kara ja sakta hai, and we can move to different allocations. Okay, so that's the difference between the omega and X. Okay, so this is how we construct Edgeworth box, and this is how we represent any bundle inside or on the Edgeworth box. Okay, so next we will talk about Pareto efficiency. So let's practice one question before moving on to Pareto efficiency. Let's say there are two consumers, and let's call them A and B. Okay. Endowment bundle of individual A, which is omega 1A and omega 2A. That means he initially has 5 units of good 1 and 4 units of good 2. Omega B is omega 1B, omega 2B. So he has 4 units of good 1 and 5 units of good 2. And we have to draw the Edgeworth box. Draw Edgeworth box and locate the endowment bundle. Endowment bundle. Okay. So that's the question. So first step is we need the total amount of good 1 and good 2 available in this economy. So omega 1a plus omega 1b, इससे आपको पता चलेगा टोटल गुड 1 कितना अवेलेबल इन दिस इकोनॉमी. So it is equal to 5 यूनिट्स है गुड 1 की इंडिविजुअल ए के पास, 4 यूनिट्स है गुड 1 की इंडिविजुअल बी के पास, और टोटल देयर आर 9 यूनिट्स ऑफ गुड 1 इन दिस इकोनॉमी. सिमिलरली वी नीड की टोटल अमाउंट ऑफ गुड 2 कितना अवेलेबल है. तो ओमेगा 2 ए के पास, ओमेगा 2 बी के पास, so it will be equal to 4 plus 5, 4 plus 5 which is equal to 9. So width भी 9 है, height भी 9 है, so this is going to be a square. All right. So we have 9 units of good 1, 9 units of good 2 in this economy. This is the origin of individual A. This is the origin of individual B. All right. Rightward direction में good 1 is increasing for individual A. Upward direction में good 2 is increasing for individual A. Okay. Similarly, leftward direction में good 1 is increasing for individual B, and downward direction में good 2 is increasing for individual B. So this is how the Edgeworth box will look for this pure exchange economy. Okay. So now we need to see where the endowment bundle lies. As I told you, individual 1 के लिए कर लो, individual B का अपने आप locate हो जाएगा. Okay. So 5,4 is the endowment bundle of individual A. So this is 5. Let's say this is 4. So this is the endowment bundle of individual A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So 5, 4. Then obviously 5 और 9 के बीच में we are left with 4 units. Okay. So automatically it will be 4 units of good 1 available to individual B. Okay. And accordingly 5 units will be left of good 2 with consumer B. So this point is 5,4 individual 1 के लिए and 4,5 for individual 2. That's your omega. Okay. So अगर 4 यूनिट है गुड 2 की इंडिविजुअल ए के पास टोटल 9 यूनिट्स हैं, तो ऑब्वियसली बी के पास 5 यूनिट्स बच जाएंगी. ये आ गया 5. ठीक है. एंड अगर 5 यूनिट्स हैं इंडिविजुअल 1 के पास, इंडिविजुअल ए के पास ऑफ गुड 1 टोटल 9 है, तो ऑब्वियसली 4 यूनिट्स बच जाएंगी इंडिविजुअल बी के पास. ओके. सो दिस इज ओमेगा. So again there is a confusion कि आपको x क्या है और ओमेगा क्या है. any allocation is x. Okay, this allocation is also x, but in this case this x is also omega. किसी भी allocation को आप x कह सकते हो. Okay, so x1a, x2a, comma x1b, x2b. तो कोई भी allocation आप ऐसे रिप्रेजेंट करते हो, राइट? So this is a general symbol for any allocation in this box. Now, this specific allocation, इस specific allocation को आप omega कहते हो. Okay, otherwise it can also be represented in this way. It can also be represented in this way, but this specific point is omega. All these are allocations including omega. Okay, so omega is a special case of x. That's it. It's just like all these points are xy points. So this is x1, y1, this is x2, y2, but आप किसी particular point को omega बोल रहे हो. That's it. This is x3, y3, but it is also omega. Omega is endowment जो initially उनके पास है. Otherwise आप इस endowment को redistribute करके किसी भी और point पर जा सकते हो. So that's it for Edgeworth box.